there's a lot of dark psychology in the Aussie Army, especially in infantry, and they've done a study on it. It's called killology. So all the targets that we hit or we shoot at are just basically man-shaped targets. They've got pictures, like we call them easy targets, or the figure 11, figure 12s. So you're always trying to aim for the face. So that, but when I was working on the trigger, I used to shoot people in the dick.
Really?
Yeah, well, when you're running, your head's bobbing around, like, going, what the fuck? I'm like, I'm not going to shoot them centre mass because they're wearing plates. So I'm not going, well, I can know where your legs are. I'm shooting your dick there, mate.
They call him the cock, the cock shooter.
Yeah, well, instant you drop them. And I'm
Yours.
getting shot there, and they're just going to go.
Yeah, right. And so from like fucking around with like when you realised that you wanted to do better shit and you wanted to be around more elite things, where did that take you?
Went down to commandos. That selection was fucking hard, man. Like, that's when I said I thought my body was going to break down. It went for 6 weeks, and we're just getting smashed, just beasted. And there's stuff I can't say about what happened on that selection, but there's people in that unit that don't deserve to be in there. And after that, like, we used to go to Coltana, like heaps, Port Augusta. Like, we have F-250s, and we'll drive our cows, like command operated watercraft. We were going through Broken Hill, and people would just be like going, well, where are you going to fucking take that, mate? Shit like that. And obviously we're not wearing all our gear, we just dress as civvies. They just like going, oh, I love your F-250. Like going, yeah, it's a good rig, eh?
Yeah, no shit.
Because we just stop off at the pub, have a few beers, have some dinner, then we go back, and then we stopped up at Mildura. That was a big night. And then at Coltana, like, some shit went down there. And yeah, so I'd left the unit. I was just disgusted at the leadership, and there's no accountability. Everything's just like, hide it, disguise it, or get promoted out. And I'm like, hold on, there's a big massive issue here. Huge failing, what the fuck's going on? So I was glad to leave. And after that, I probably spent about 6-7 months just living in my car. Just really struggling, just working as a concreter. And yeah, I just went like, nah, refused to get back in the army. Yeah. And then I got my first contract. I was stoked. I thought, yeah, I'll just jump straight into it, come from an elite unit, I've been overseas, but no, it's not like that. Like, you got to know someone. And it was really hard for people just to do a cold call on me. And so they just went like, no, we like your background, we'd like to talk to you on the phone. What are you doing this weekend? I went, why is that? We got a ticket for you. What for? Job interview. Okay, where am I flying? Sydney, Melbourne? They went, you're going to come to London to our office. I went, right, okay, this shit's getting real.
Some fucking John Wick shit.
So yeah, and the office at Buckingham Gate, you got the household cavalry guard, and saw Buckingham Palace, and yeah, and just, it was so, I get why people love the UK.
So did you actually go through the gates for that?
No, but it's just all kind of in that area.
I get you.
Yeah. And I got hired and got flown out to Kuwait, and that night I was in Iraq.
No shit.
Yeah. Away working, 2006.
That was 2006 this happened, and that was your first one.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, you perform well in that job, and the word gets out that you're reliable and this and that, and then that more work comes and more work.
That is very true. It's the same in any industry.
Is that so? It's very similar to any other industry. It's a lot of word of mouth, I imagine.
Yeah, you really have to earn your name, and that is.
Is there a lot of private contractors?
Not in my group. We were actually quite small, but yeah, like over there was over 10,000, I reckon. Like, there's a huge force multiplier.
Do you ever hear the story? I forget his name. There's a massive YouTube documentary on him. He lied his way into becoming a massive private contractor in Afghanistan. He never was in the army or anything, but he lied his way. He was a really good talker, and he was like confident, and he had no army background, and he found himself like exporting like fucking really high profile hostages from point A's to point B's.
Wow.
Holy shit.
And he ended up making millions of dollars, ended up forming a massive coke addiction, and fucking went to like Puerto Rico or some shit and ended up like killing. It's a hectic fucking story. It's on YouTube. It's like a 50-minute doco about this bloke's life, but he became a private contractor in the Middle East.
One of the people I work for, he started a company called Global. He was, I think he was Scottish Black Watch, but he wasn't UKSF or anything like that. He was just ex-soldier, maybe an officer, and he mortgaged his house 3 times. And when Afghanistan kicked off, I remember when the planes actually hit the towers. I won't say what I was up to, but I was up late at night on the old laptop. And on the TV, I always have CNBC because I like to listen to what's happening in the financial markets and stuff like that. And the chick, the presenter, she's just like going, "Oh my God, there's just been a massive rumble explosion in the building. I don't know what's going on." I'm like, "What the fuck?" And then I went to sleep that night, and the next morning, everything was just going crazy. People were just banging on your door and stuff like, "Get up, get up, get up."
What was that like, actually, being in the army when that was happening?
It was a load of wank, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we were just cruising around with our stires, with a fucking bayonet, with our webbing, with no mag. And you're like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Just for show.
Who the fuck's going to take out Townsville? Really? They can have it. So we used to just cruise around, just stab the grass, stab the fucking palm trees, try and stab each other. We just sat there and just went, this is bullshit.
Yeah, right.
People want to leave the army.
Mm. So after your first successful contracting job, do you have any like stories in the contracting thing that you can talk about?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That first gig was hectic.
The first one?
Yeah. We had 10 of our locals beheaded, and their heads
What?
dropped off at the front gate.
10 of your local, like the community you were staying in,
No, he worked for us.
worked for you? Fuck.
And they didn't realise there was what's called an ODA, Operational Detachment Alpha, like an SF team. And they were there operating, and there's something called Eagle Eye, so we can see everything from the sky. And like, some of the boys would fall asleep at night doing night patrol, and they would ask the radio. And so we have to call up Eagle Eye and just go like, "Oh, where's this cunt? Oh, can I say that?"
Yeah, you can say
Yeah. Go, where the fuck is this fucking cunt? It's like, yeah, he's there, mate. There's something there, just parked in the ditch. We can see the exhaust coming, the car's running. And so we have to get the Casper, which is this big white armoured vehicle. Brilliant thing. And we had to time him out. Just go, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Wait, was that the guy that dropped off the heads?
No, these are some Kiwi boys.
just some Kiwis.
The thing is, like, we'll get touched up every night as well with drive-bys, and our guards would lose it. They'll just freak out. So, you know, sometimes you just lie in wait and give it back. You know, a few 100-round belts, they wouldn't be coming back.
Fucking 10 heads.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
That's fucking horrendous.
Yeah. And we knew who did it. They won't be doing that again.
Yeah, fucking hell. Some heavy shit though. You like, how you can still function and like talk. I'd be fucking such a mess of it.
Dude, it'd be so hard.
Yeah.
Just
Imagine Eric in that situation. If you just dropped off 10 heads in front of MV2 tomorrow.
what do you do?
If you
Call me.
Okay, son, wait, something heavy's happened.
If you put 2 dead rats in front of MV2, Eric would have to take 3 days emotionally.
Fuck.
Well, he's been through some shit too, man. Alright, you give him a break.
Everyone's been through some shit.
Be kind. Everyone's going through
Everyone's
stuff.
been through some shit.
Yeah.
But so that's fucking crazy. That was just your first job. When you like, what have I signed up for after that, or was that?
I loved it.
That was like why you were there.
Yeah, it gets in your blood. I fell in love with it. I guess you ask anyone, like people ask what's it like being like in commandos or SASR. I'll just say that I know what it takes to get into one of the units. and what it's like, especially in commandos, especially now. It's harder to stay in and keep your beret than to earn it. And just every day you got to perform. I think I've lost track of what I was trying to say here.
You were saying
being on the contract, like the contracting side of things, and why you loved it.
Oh yeah. So when you have that much dedication to your craft, and you just get hyper focused to do your training and we go through entry testing, go through selection, and you just want to perform and do the best you can, and you just go, I've got a good background from infantry, I've got a lot of my mates already in the unit, got a lot of my mates on the staff, got a lot of my mates I'm training with. It's just work. That's all it is. Like, yeah, you're sleep deprived, it's food deprived. Some people lose up to 20 kilos, and you're carrying fuck off heavy shit. It's just work. That's all it is. Like, I don't know. I'm just not intimidated by it.
So did you have to transport a lot of people around as well, like from A to B?
Yeah. So after that first gig, I got some stories to tell about that one. So yeah.
Yes, tell me the juicy ones without getting too juicy, without getting in trouble. But then again, I love a good story.
Yeah, I do love a good story, and don't let the truth get in the way of a good story either. You can blow it up a little bit, you know.
Oh, well, certain intelligence assets told us where they were, and we just knew where they were going to be. And they tried something on again. NDEX, see ya, bye, pop smoke. They did actually literally go up and smoke. I should have laughed at that.
That'd be heavy.
But yeah, after that, I just really loved it. Like, we used to have heaps of dams. That ODA attachment just loved us, just gave us everything. Then worked out, oh, holy fuck, you're Aussie SF. I went, oh, yeah, I don't really claim it, but yeah. And he goes, well, what skills and drills do you know? So started doing range shoots with them, and just fun, cool shit.
I was going to say, is 80% of your, when you're over there and stuff, is 80% of your time training?
No, 99% of my time over there was sitting in front of the idiot box.
Really?
Yeah, playing a lot of Xbox.
PUBG.
Yeah, no, it was Call of Duty, Battlefield 2, Counter-Strike. I didn't really get into Minefield, and then just going on the internet and just seeing what your mate's up to, seeing what work's coming up, seeing, like, you really got to keep a view on the US Treasury budget, see what they're going to spend.
And is a lot of your work admin as well? No, that's all right then.
It did used to be, but depends. Like, after
depends how much shit went down.
That first contract that I did, our clients weren't too happy, but the company loved us and got us on with Global. This is a fellow who went to Afghanistan when shit went down, and he was just started drinking at the Intercontinental with a couple of Alphabet officers, and they said, we've got $250 million here. Are you interested in starting something up with us? He goes, oh, maybe. Yeah. And so some of the contracts back then was up to 450, $500 million.
Is that right?
Yep.
So is that the government spending it on the contractor, and the contractor goes in and does a duty?
Yep.
And that, fucking hell, big money in it.
So what? All right. So
yeah,
you got 400 million. Sorry.
Yeah.
In your bank account. Does that mean you can go out and buy a car or a tank or all your weapons? You can just go, just like the Matrix. You can just walk in and just grab whatever.
What was your biggest splurge? Not splurge, but like biggest purchase.
Probably would have been an Antonov.
Oh, what?
An Antonov. Isn't that the helicopter?
No, it's a plane.
Oh, that's that massive one that blew up in Ukraine. So that was part of the whole entire thing.
That wasn't that one, but it was a different one. But that was a lot of money. Like, probably I'd authorise maybe $35, $40 million.
When you're paying that, it's going to sound really dumb.
Yeah, I should have gotten a black Amex card and gotten a free fly miles.
Is it a card? It's obviously a transfer, a wire transfer or some shit.
That particular job when I was in Afghan, I was basically where the buck stopped was with me, and I just had to rubber stamp it, send it across the desk to Colonel J, and he just goes, "What's this?" Yeah, I don't know. You guys want it? So, all right. Tick, sign off.
It's like buying a used car.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The amount of money they spend on fucking war, though, it's insane, eh?
Like I had my own personal armoured car that was like about 300 grand.
is that right?
That was just mine.
Is that so? Your city car to get around when you're off duty, so you can just go to the shops, go to the pub.
Yeah. Do I look like?
So yeah. So when you're in your car, so when you're cruising around, do you get is it like armored? Do you carry your weapons in there just in case anything happens? Like in case.
No.
Yeah. So you're always strapped with something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always used to carry a covert pistol because you can't trust your locals.
Yeah.
And I always had my hand there like that,
Yeah. I get you.
just in case.
What
Yeah.
was your carry, like a 9mm?
No. 10.
10?
Yeah.
So like Star Wars, when you go down to the pub and Greedo comes out and on the table,
Cantina.
No
Cantina.
shit.
Yeah.
challenge shot first, that sort of situation.
So you want to basically be polite and nice to everyone, but have a plan to kill everyone in the room.
Because at the end of the day, no one really likes you there, do they?
Some do.
Some do.
Yeah.
The ones that
like,
are obviously you're protecting.
no, they just realise that you're a good person.
Yeah.
That you're there for a job and you're not a thug. Like some of these contractors are knuckle draggers. And you just go like, fuck, I don't want to work with this bloke. That's why we keep in touch with each other. See who's who and who's who and make sure we look after each other, get good contracts, stuff like that. So I ended up at the pinnacle really. If you get like an embassy contract, that's what you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, I spent my time in the mud. I loved it. Like doing convoys, that's hectic shit right there.
Have you got any convoy stories
I have a few.
that you can actually say?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to make my job easier so I don't have to edit any of this.
Basically, like when I first started, it was super quiet. So we were working out of Abu Ghraib warehouse. So this is after I spent 7 months straight in Afghan, and I was going stir crazy, and that was just an easy gig, just
Yep.
a money gig. And then I just went, fuck, I'll just jump on convoys. And went there with a mate. We did some training in Arkansas, and it was just super chill, super quiet for about a month. And had another few of the guys were pretty solid, actually really good dudes, Marines, Force Recon. There was an ex SOG from Vietnam there, and he was my first team leader. And our project manager was a Kiwi fellow, and then someone else was from Kiwi SAS. And so we got along like a house on fire. Falcon was a company that ran the whole security for the range. And that guy was old school SF dude, and he's just like, man, I've been seeing you shooting on the range, like fucking just whenever you want, just radio, call me, and I'll make it hot for you. So that was brilliant. Abu Ghraib warehouse is probably bigger than Metro Adelaide.
Really?
Yeah, the amount of money coming through that place. Yeah, and we actually had the FBI come in to investigate it. Because 2,000 Glocks got stolen and sold on the black market.
Holy shit.
A lot of that happens with the military in general. eh?
Yeah.
A lot of things. That's how people get military grade weapons at home. It doesn't come from fucking civilians.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like you go because we travel like Iraq as if it was just a road trip.
Yeah.
And the Yanks used to call us like road warrior. That's what they called Mad
Max.
Yeah, they go, God damn, the Aussie road warrior. Yeah, we can have seafood again tonight. Again, thank you, cheers boys. Because that's what we're transferring all their cargo to all their FOBs. Like the Yanks would go in, they set up little forward operating bases, or not little but huge ones, and they operate out of that. And I'm just like, you're going the wrong way about it. You should actually have smaller. That's how you hold ground. You just don't go out, just patrol and come back. You know, that's just stupid. But that's how they operate and work. And we were the ones supplying everything from the generators, all their bullets and bombs, all their laptops, so they can watch their porn. Fishing rods, like they'd go out there fishing, shit
Really?
like that. Yeah. Like Victory Base Camp, that's huge. And so the amount of money coming out of Abu Ghraib warehouse would easily, like, some of my cargo would be well over 25, 50 mil.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So
Big
when you bring
trucks.
weapons, so does anyone obviously try to get intel when you're moving? Does anyone try to ambush?
Fucking oath,
Well,
mate.
that's the fucking that's
So when we first started, it was super quiet, but then we started operating and moving. We started to get razzed up. So every night you would just go to sleep, and the gate guards would just be pumping rounds out. You just hear the 50 cal and and like the 240s, they call Mag 58s. We'll just go to sleep to the evening night. I just sometimes I'll just go up on the roof and I'll just get my gat, just pump rounds in, just go, shut the fuck up!
More noise.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll get mortared, rocketed, we'll just be walking to the mess, which is like a K-way, and we'll see a call sign go out, and they just hit huskies, and you see these twin blooms just go. We'll still feel it.
I was going to say, what was the first explosion like for you? Because that would be probably a pretty fucking confronting thing.
A lot of fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, even anticipating it. And we just stared
You
at
knew
each
it was
other.
going to happen.
Yeah, we just stared at each other and just like, oh, fuck. And then that call sign just had to get retrieved and dragged back, and just the burnt charred bodies, bro. Because
I know I accidentally shot a 308 once, and I didn't have my earmuff on properly, and I just remember that ring, that horrible fucking ring. Is it similar to that when it drops?
Sometimes I purposely have done stuff like with my hearing protection off, but
Really?
yeah, just to build that up. But I've been always super religious. I mean, here's a picture. I mean, that was my take on my time in Iraq.
That's on barbecue. I love that photo.
Man, that gap, my M4, that was worth about 10 grand.
Really?
What's the standard military issue rifle that you use?
Depends what unit.
Depends on you. What were you using?
I was using Greg Leaf M16 Viper Clinic, so it had a full auto lower. I wasn't meant to have it, but we knew people. And that thing alone, with the sear, if I shipped it back to the States back then, I could have got 20 grand for it, but even now, I'll get 200 for it.
Is that right?
Yeah. Anything full auto, especially with an AR platform. I even had safeties and sears from a Glock. Sold it to a mate of mine in Kurdistan for $600. I'm like, what are you going to do with it? And he just goes, oh, my dad's a machinist. We're going to pump these out, sell them for $5 grand each.
Oh, serious?
I want it back. But yeah, like we went to the range and just pulled it back out of the Glock, dropped the new one in, and just put an extended mag on. I'm like, yeah, tap rack, and held trigger down, and away she went. It's like,
So there's rules of engagement
Works.
even as a contractor. So there's...
no, not for us.
I was
Really?
going to say, you're private contractors.
No.
You're like a
Yeah,
different thing.
we can do whatever we want.
I've never understood the fucking rule. I wanted to touch on that today, because that's one thing I've never understood about war. Because in my eyes, when shit hits the fan, it's kind of like you gotta win. Like if it comes down to it, like
Yeah.
an actual war.
Well, we're not back in 1812 charging the guns again.
Yeah.
And we're not in World War One in the trenches.
But I don't actually know the rules of war. So is it no flame? No, you're not allowed to incinerate anymore, or
I don't know about that. Probably someone who's still into it more. But I know we've got what's called off orders for opening fire, and there's ROE. Everyone knows what ROE is, rules of engagement, and then there's laws of armed conflict, which is actually ruled by the Geneva Convention. And there's things that you can't do, like if someone's given up their prisoner, you gotta give them any common courtesy as a human, but you maintain shock of capture. You don't fraternise with them. If you're feeling generous, give them a dowry. Keep them cuffed. You gotta feed and water them. You can't bash them or beat them, but you gotta maintain shock of capture, so then intelligence can come and get what they want out of them. But yeah, there's a lot of morality in what I do and what the ADF does, and what you're seeing on the media is an aberration. That's not the ADF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
have you ever been into a close situation where you've almost been like captured or anything, or you've been?
Yeah.
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 Fucking terrifying.
Not really.
No.
No. Because obviously I'm not white, and I can speak like to Dorsey Hilberstom, just a bit of lingo, Tasha Core. I just go, alright, what are you doing? And let's go to the end. you know, Marcus Shee, everything's all good. I'm going for a walk. That's my villa. Yeah, all right, see ya. Yeah, I've gone in the bandit country, just, you know, in soft skins, and we're doing recce's, pretty much trying to prove the route. You know, you just don't know what bridge is still going to be there. So you don't want to rock up with like 40 semi-trailers and 6 gun trucks and going...
So
"Oh,
basically,
fuck."
you're just scouting the area, making sure everything's
Yeah,
still...
yeah, and you go out and talk to all the power players because you trust your locals to a certain point.
Yeah.
And then they'll just go, oh yeah, my uncle knows these people, these bad people here. And just go, well, can we meet them? He goes, do you want to do that? And they always call me Mr. Sun. Mr. Sun, do you want to do that? And I go, yeah. They just go, really? I go, yeah, fuck yeah, why not? Go out there, meet them. The only times I've ever been scared for my life is probably the Yanks.
Really?
Yeah, they've arced me up quite a few times. Yeah. And I was with a mate, he doesn't live that far from you.
Yeah.
I'll just say Andy. And we were going down to near Wardak, and yeah, we got lost.
In a bad place?
Yeah.
So is it like Hackham bad?
I think they're bad over there. It's different.
I reckon,
different bad.
I reckon if these boys from Hackham can bracket a 120mm mortar, yeah, that would fit in. And so we were cruising around, and just a few Yanks just rolled up, and we went to their checkpoint, and obviously showed our creds, and they're like, what the fuck are you guys doing here? I go, we don't know, where are we? They go, Earth? I go, wait, fuckhead, yeah, we know we're on Earth. We're about in Afghanistan in Wardak. And he goes like, oh, why don't you have your fucking maps? And we're like, because you guys won't give us any, you fuckheads. And we realised that we're working for you. We got all this shit for you. Just help us out. And they're like, seeing how we dress, and they're like, everyone get out of the car, get out, just, you know, you suited and booted. They're like, oh man, you guys must be SF. Okay, what maps do you need?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It comes with some credibility. Yeah.
Yeah, having some balls.
Yeah.
You know, just going out there and doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in terms of fear,
Has there been any times when you just sat down and think, I am proper fucked, and there's no way out of this?
story of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, for 2 years.
Yeah.
When it's not one of the ones, we call it running the roads.
Yeah.
People don't come back.
Yeah.
It'll explain what running the roads is. Or if you
It's
to like a...
swimming with sharks
Yeah.
in a feeding frenzy. Like
Yeah.
they got a lot of hatred. They want to take it out on
Yeah.
someone or anyone. They know what cargo we've got. They want it.
Yeah.
There've been call signs that have just gone out, like 30 trucks, 5-gun trucks. They just don't come back. No one knows where they are.
And when you say they, which group do you mean?
That company was called Heart.
Yeah.
They lost 2 call signs. Just everyone's all killed, dead.
Is that right? Then all
Cargo
the product
gone.
goes missing. So all cargo gone, drivers, all contractors gone.
Yeah. One of my best truck driver, was a 12-year-old. He used to wear chocks on his feet.
What? That's
Yeah.
like Indiana Jones.
Fully. Yeah, fully looked after him.
Shit.
Really?
Yeah. And,
No shit.
and then when they get sick or they say the family's sick, my mate, John Regan, he was a PA, which is just under a GP, and he was part of the original SOG and Viper teams
Yeah.
in Vietnam and First Desert World Wars. He opened up my eyes to contracting because I was just a straighty 180, just like, yeah, do a job, either die or don't, come home.
Yeah.
But he's like, mate, no, we could have a bit of fun here. I go, what do you mean? He was a rogue
Really?
and taught me how to be a war zone adventurer.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is not all doom and gloom, man. Don't get hell sad, because he could tell I was hell scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no need for fear, mate. I go, what do you mean? He goes, there's a lot of fun, bro. Just chill out.
I was going to say, when you just said Warzone Adventure,
I was about to say that.
is that what you see in yourself as? That's a wild way to see that. That is real Mad Max kind of art.
I loved it. Why do
Yeah.
you think I did it for 10 years?